telling you.
It's been a long time. I turned 70.
All right. Thank you for coming, Mr. Massey.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Now we will review the agenda items to give board members an opportunity to ask questions or comment. Mr. Superintendent, we have an executive session.
Yes, ma'am, if the board so chooses, one for student matters, property, and personnel.
Okay. Board members, do we have any comments on the agenda? Agenda number 1, minute of the board meeting held on March 10th. Any questions? Item 2. I should just say, does anybody have any questions so I don't have to go through all of them?
I think we probably need to go through all.
Okay. Item 3, consider a recommendation for release of personnel. Item 4, consider a recommendation for approval for Building Ground Committee, Westover School Phase 2, Early Site Package, or Phase 2 Mobile Management Agreement. Item 5, fundraising request or out-of-state field trip. Do we have any committee reports? Okay. Ms. Superintendent, are you ready for your report?
Yes, ma'am. All right, superintendent's report for March 27th, 2025. We'll have a strategic plan update. We'll talk about our legislative updates, some celebrations and announcements, then an executive session if the board sees fit to do so. Of course, the vision of the Dougherty County School System is that we're a destination school system that, in collaboration with family and community stakeholders, provides quality educational and social development experiences that empower its graduates to be successful and impactful contributors to society. And our mission is to meet the academic and non-academic needs of our students with rigorous and relevant educational experiences that equip them to succeed in life. And of course, our strategic plan, the 5 priority areas are early literacy, academic rigor and relevance, social and emotional wellness, and investment in human capital, and family and community engagement. Dr. Finley presented to us a few meetings ago about our strategic planning process for our next iteration of our strategic plan, and we've had steering committee meetings, and he's engaged with principals and leadership of the school system to identify individuals to serve on stakeholder groups for students, parents, and other community stakeholders. So over the next month and a half, we'll be convening focus group meetings for employees, students, parents, and community stakeholders. And after that, the steering committee will meet again to review stakeholder feedback and make recommendations regarding the new strategic plan for the Dougherty County School System. Next update, Villa, we talked about this briefly at the last meeting. It was 2 meetings ago, rather, we had our we reported on our 3rd session. Tonight, this evening, we have our 4th session on financial operations. So far, we've had great participation. A lot of engagement and fun. I think we try to keep it. They talk about the operations of the school system, but not really exciting. So we have to make it engaging. And I think we've done so. It's exciting to me, but for the layperson, it's not exciting. But we've made it engaging, and we've had some great feedbacks. We look forward to the 4th course tonight, and then we have 2 left. One April 10th, which will be a field trip, site visits. And then the final one will be our graduation ceremony, completion ceremony, which will be April 24th. Legislative updates. This is an update on the list we provided at the last meeting. We have kept the Senate Bill 150, which is the expansion of the Return to Work bill. Currently, the Return to Work bill, House Bill 385, introduced that bill several years ago. It sunsets at the end of next school year. It has a 1-year waiting period, a sit-out period. This reduces that to 60 days. It also, House Bill 385 restricts the content areas to 3 of the highest demand, most critical areas as defined by the number of vacancies per RESA. This leaves it up to the local school system to decide which are the critical needs. So it gives us a lot of flexibility. This would give us a lot of flexibility. Since it's a fiscal bill, it has to be presented for actuarial study in the first year of a biennial session, and this is the first year of a biennial session. So after the actuarial study, it'll be presented during the next legislative session in 2026 for approval, and hopefully this will pass. There's another version from the House that is not as flexible, does not provide as much flexibility as this one. It has not gotten out of the Senate committee yet. Passed the House, hasn't got out of the Senate committee. This is the only one that's been passed to the actuarial study phase, and that phase is required. If it does not go to actuarial study this year, it can't be considered next year. And had a couple of updates. These bills, the next few bills were had passed one house, one chamber of the legislature, but had not passed the other at the last meeting. They all 3 have been passed by both houses and now are awaiting governor's signature. The interstate compact agreement for school psychologists, which allows our school psychologists to work with other psychologists in other states if the need arises, some kind of disaster, where they need psychological services to be provided. Increased indemnification for educators from $75,000 to $150,000. And then the one that has gotten a lot of press is the cell phone ban. So that passed. There was some discussion about extending it from K through 8 to K through 12. That was not adopted by the that was not passed by the 2 houses. The K through 8 was, and so it's awaiting governor's signature. But the sponsor of the bill did say that he anticipates that they will consider 9 through 12 next year. Now, this did not prevent the school system from adopting a policy that addresses 9 through 12. This is just a state law. Yeah. Right. Our current policy restricts the use of cell phones during instructional time only. So they still can have it during non-instructional time during cafeteria and things of that nature. This will be a ban from opening bell to closing bell. And ours is provided in middle school and high school, not elementary. No, there's no allowance for cell phones in the elementary school, although I do think some elementary school students carry them. Right. Yes, ma'am. I've heard that. I'm sure Dr. Finley has heard that. And so as we look at our policy development, which is in the process of doing, I'm pretty sure that will be an option that we'll present to the board if the board sees fit to consider that. All right. Again, this is one of our legislative priorities, so I'm updating it. And I think I told you at the last meeting that House Bill 245, the Educational Opportunity Act, which adds a 19th program weight, 1.75 weight QE for students living in poverty, and Senate Bill 128, the Quality Basic Education Act, which provides a 25% categorical grant to the base funding for eligible local units of administration with the school systems for students living in poverty. And neither bill made it to crossover through crossover day. We do appreciate Representative Gerald Green for being a co-sponsor of the bill in the House, and Senator Freddie Powell Sims for being a co-sponsor of the bill in the Senate. And we appreciate their efforts. Of course, they were there. This is part of our legislative priorities that were presented to our local delegation, and they responded by co-sponsoring bills that support that priority. And although it was not passed, didn't make it past crossover day, we remain encouraged that we'll continue this fight next year, as Georgia remains one of 6 states in the country without a funding weight for students living in poverty as part of its education funding formula. And so we'll continue to advocate for this and try to build a coalition to help support this throughout the state. And hopefully we'll get some traction on that next year. Although we are disappointed it didn't get passed, we're not discouraged at all, not dismayed, but we will continue. Remember, it took us quite a few years to get the expansion of our pre-K. So advocacy works, it just takes some time every now and then, and we're willing to put the time and effort in to see it through to the end. Update, last time we talked about the Generate program and the funding had been cut. It's a federal grant through the U.S. Department of Education, and that funding was cut. And that program provided opportunities for teachers who have bachelor's degrees but not a bachelor's degree in education to pursue a master's of arts in teaching and get a Georgia PSC certification at the same time. That program was cut. We were notified on February 12th that it was cut effective immediately. That was 2 days after we recognized the first two graduates of the program. I do have a update for this, though. Go ahead, Ms. Gonzalez.
Madam Chair, thank you. Is there the possibility, however, to have that program restored once the states have reclaimed their authority that was rendered to the federal government?
Yes, ma'am. We could do that. The issue was the funding, so they had a grant.
I understand.
And so if the good news is, right now, the grant has been renewed because, as I mentioned at the last meeting, this grant had already been awarded and allocated for the fiscal year.
Right.
And there was a court ruling that said that if they wanted to terminate grants, they could do it, but they couldn't do it for ones that had already been awarded and allocated. It would have to end at the end of the fiscal year. Now, they're under no obligation to renew it for another funding year. But for this program year or funding year, it has been renewed for now. I'm sure there may be another court case appeal pending, but right now, the grant has been restored. And so our students who are participating in the grant will have the opportunity to go through summer and hopefully fall to complete their program. But we also are working on contingency planning with inquiring with the University of West Georgia and Columbus State University. Both have Master's of Arts in Teaching programs. So we're trying to see which credits they would accept from Mercer, allow our students to go for 2 semesters to complete and award the Master's of Arts in Teaching degree, or conversely, see if Mercer would accept the last 2 semesters of credit from CSU or University of West Georgia and award the degree. Usually in a master's program, they don't accept that many credits from an outside entity, but all of them are accredited, and if the programs are closely aligned, I think they would make that exception. If the funding remains intact through September 30th, that would be long enough for the students to get the tuition paid for the fall semester, so that would not be an issue. But in case we do get into another hiccup with this, then we're working on contingency planning to ensure they can complete their program of study through state schools versus at Mercer, because of the cost of tuition would be much less at a state institution.
That's federal funding, right?
Yes, ma'am, federal funding.
Okay, my question is whether or not indeed, in absence of federal monies, the state will take up that charge, perhaps.
I don't think, we have had no discussion with the State Department of Education or anyone at the state to see if they would pick it up. I think that would probably be left up to the local school system. And so our approach has been to look at more cost-effective alternatives through CSU and University of West Georgia. And so we're still pursuing that, although the funds have been restored currently. We're still looking at those as contingency plans if, in fact, the funding is cut again. But there's no money from the state that I know that's available. Of course, now we don't mind asking, and we certainly will, as an alternative to allowing the students to stop the program 2 semesters short of completing a master's degree. That would be not something that we would.
Well,
14 left, yes, ma'am.
there's no need to respond. I'm just wondering if we were operating through federal funds and the program ends because there's no more federal funding, will the federal government turn the money over to the states in as much as they're giving powers back to the states now? This doesn't require an answer, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has the answer for that right now. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I don't know if that's really gonna happen. Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Right. And then the Workforce Georgia grant, another grant, that's federal grant through the U.S. Department of Labor that was administered through the Technical College System of Georgia, was ended abruptly. That provided work-based learning opportunities and paid interns to paid internships rather for our students. As of yet, we have not been made aware that these funds have been restored, but it's similar to the Generate program because it had been awarded and allocated for this program year, the federal fiscal year, which goes through September 30th. So our thinking was that this would be captured, and the court ruling that says you can't terminate the program if the funding had already been awarded and allocated for the year, that it would have to go through that year. This program falls in that. We haven't received any word that those funds have been restored. So right now, there are those students who are participating in this WorkSource Georgia grant through the Technical College System of Georgia no longer have an opportunity to take advantage of that. And then just last week, we were made aware of the local school for the Local Food for Schools program through the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Those funds, that grant has been terminated, but it will be terminated at the end of the school year. So we will go through the end of the school year. And although we had plans to having that renewed for future years, we were advised that this program would no longer be operational, no longer be funded. And that program provides school systems with funds specifically to buy produce from local farmers or producers. And so, as you know, we have a multi-million, $10 million, $12 million school nutrition program, and most of the food we buy in bulk, and we have to send it out for bid. And a lot of local farmers, smaller farmers, can't compete with larger operations on the price, so they don't really get an opportunity to participate in those larger procurements. But these funds were specifically for local producers. So the larger producers, multi-million-dollar companies, they were not eligible to participate. So this provided funding to purchase funds, to purchase rather produce from local producers. And we'll continue to do that throughout this year. We'll look for other opportunities to do it next year and beyond, but it won't be through the Local Food for Schools program unless that something changes between now and the beginning of the next federal fiscal year. Any questions? So one piece of good news, Generate grants being restored right for now. And then an added piece of not so good news, but another grant being terminated. But we'll continue to press forward. Yep.
Ms. Hand, can you please turn your mic on, please? Thank you.
Would this affect students receiving food during the summertime?
This program would not. That program has not been mentioned yet. That's a different program. Summer feeding program. We have not gotten word on that yet. Well, I would say we have not gotten word on that. I'm not going to say yet because I'm not anticipating getting anything. We've not gotten word on that.
Hold on, Mr. Dyer. Did anyone else have any question about the U.S. since the U.S. Department of Education has shifted? That's what I'm gonna call it. Okay, because I knew there were several questions about that, so you answered most of them. Thank you, sir.
Celebrations and announcements. Again, a pretty brief report because we could have its potential for a lengthy executive session. So celebration and announcements. Of course, this is Women's History Month, and as we bring this month to a close, we want to recognize the contributions of women in the Dougherty County school system and in the Dougherty County community. Present company included, of course. So thank you for everything that you have done and continue to do to serve the students and families of Dougherty County. The National Civics Bee. This is the first year that Dougherty County has participated in the National Civics Bee. This is a program sponsored by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and our local chamber sponsored the local event, and all schools, public and private, in Dougherty County were eligible to participate. The top 20 finalists all came from the Dougherty County school system. And so we hosted the local phase 2 of the round 2 of the local competition at 4C Academy. And you'll see the winners here, all Dougherty County school system students, and all from Robert Cross, the top 3, all from Robert Cross. The winner, Ms. Robinson, received $500 award, and Mr. Razan Roberts received second place, a $250 award, and Ms. Kaylin Hutchins was in third place, and she received a $125 award. They all qualify for the state competition, which they can win prizes of up to $10,000 for first place, and a chance to go to Washington, D.C. to compete in the National Civics Beat, which I think the prize is total to $100,000. So it's a great opportunity for our students, and they a great first year of participation, and we look forward to continuing that effort in the years to come. And then Mr. Jabari, call him Tabari rather, Mr. President, he's the student council president at Monroe. You may remember him for giving his a speech at the Emil King celebration at the ASU West. He advanced to the state social studies fair after a strong showing in the Southwest Georgia Regional Social Studies Fair last weekend. His project, The Psychological Effect of Colonialism, clanism on African Americans. So he's continuing his great work. Then the Exchange Club ACE Award is awarded to another Dougherty County School System student, Ms. Roberts from Dougherty High. She's enrolled in the CNA program at Albany Technical College, and she received the award accepting the Challenge of Excellence Award from the Albany Exchange Club Fair, which recognizes high school students who had to overcome great physical and emotional and social obstacles and have made it to graduation. So congratulations to her as she graduates high school and plans to study to become an RN. And on the athletics front, Ms. KJ Akery, a sophomore at Monroe High School, has been named to the Player of the Year of the Georgia Basketball Coaches Association and Georgia Athletic Coaches Association. She's also named Sandy Spiel's All-State AAA Player of the Year and Shot Block of the Year. And she's also set the state single season scoring record, regardless of classification. So she's had a great career so far and has 2 years to go. Mr. Hallman Jaquavius Hallman from Dougherty, with his performance at a recent track meet, claimed the #1 spot in Georgia and the #1 spot in the nation for the triple jump. So we're looking forward to his competition at the track and field meet that Coach Massey just spoke to you about. So if you go, you'll probably see Mr. Hallman in action. Ms. Taylor McKenzie, another basketball player, student athlete from, and I must say that also that Ms. Akery is an honor roll student, and so is Ms. McKenzie. She was also named to the All-State team for the Georgia Coaches Association, and honorable mention for All-State for Sandy Spiel. Same thing with Ms. Jatiana Jar Chambers, a Dougherty High School senior. She's honorable mention for the All-State team for Sandy Spiel, and a member of the All-State team for Georgia Coaches Association. And finally, Mr. Lorenzo Steele, a senior at Monroe High, was named to the Sandy Spiel's All-State basketball team. And so was Mr. Juwan Jinks from Dougherty, honorable mention for the All-State team for Sandy Spiels. And finally, robotics season is here, as we mentioned before. Dougherty High claimed the top spot at the one meet, and 4C has claimed the top spot at another meet this year. And 4C is ranked #1 in the Peachtree District, which covers Georgia and South Carolina. And so they'll go compete again, this time in Albany, Georgia, at a meet at the Civic Center beginning tomorrow, ending Saturday. So look forward to those young men and women competing to represent their schools in the district with other schools throughout the state of Georgia and South Carolina. Any questions or comments regarding my report, Madam Chair?
What time is the robotics, Friday and Saturday? Do we have a time?
I think it starts at 9, but we'll certainly follow back up with you on that.
Okay, in case any board members would like to participate. Okay. Board members, do we have any questions to Mr. Superintendent?
And Madam, if you do want to go to the executive session, I don't anticipate any action, so.
We can wait until after. I think, board members, what's your pleasure to do executive session after the board meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will start with our meeting. Will you please silence your phone? I appreciate you guys staying with us for the mid-month board meeting. Please silence your phone and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Moment of silence.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Superintendent, I know we had one public comment, but do we have any public comment presentation?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Madam Chair, I move the adoption of the agenda.
It has been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Do we have any changes to the minutes of the board meeting March 10th, 20? Oh, let me go back. We do have an addendum for, everybody got their addendum?
Yes.
Okay. So on the agenda, we did add the addendum to that. Okay. Now, we'll go, any changes to the minutes for the board meeting held March 10th? If not hearing, can I get an enter and a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Ms. Heath, it's been properly second and, properly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes. The minutes are approved. Do I have a consent agenda for items 2 through 5, including the addendum?
Motion to approve.
Second.
You got that, Ms.? Okay. It's been properly moved in second for approval of consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none? Okay. Do we have any announcements?
GSBA summer conference.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Mr. Dyer. I told you I keep it together. We will be looking for GSBA summer conference. If you're planning on attending, please let Ms. Rhonda know. But I'm also in need of a delegate to be in the delegate assembly to represent us. I will not be able to because I will be on the committee this year to review all the items that we'll be bringing to the
Legislative priorities.
legislative priorities. Don't all y'all jump up at it at one time.
I gotta look at the dates.
Okay. So can you please get that with Ms. Sanders if you would like to serve as our delegate for Dougherty County? By next week, Ms. Sanders? Well, next week is spring break. Okay. So if you'll call me and let me know so we can make sure Ms. Sanders, because I really need someone to serve on that. Thank you, Ms. Superintendent. Okay, may I have a motion to go in executive session to discuss personnel, student matter?
Just before you go in, may I
Yes,
ask Mr. Superintendent to give us an update on the tax,
Property tax.
property, the one we
property
just did
tax.
the hearing.
I got a call yesterday asking me about, what we're gonna do about the taxes.
What tax?
Seniors.
You know, the senior.
Oh, the senior tax exemption?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll continue. We waited until to see about the House Bill 581. And the next thing on our agenda is to do the analysis for the senior tax exemption request. Okay.
And, do you have an update on the gym for Dougherty?
Yes, sir. The gym, the health and physical education complex the contracts have been signed, and we're planning the groundbreaking ceremony sometime in the month of May.
Sound good.
And there's about a 12-month to 16-month construction plan on that, so it'll be ready for not next basketball season, but the basketball season after that.
Okay.
Or maybe toward the end of next basketball season, perhaps.
Okay.
Any other questions? I
I
did.
do have another well, not a question, but on May 20th, if you're available, the people at, in Putney, I'm sorry, would like for you to attend their neighborhood watch meeting, May 20th, if you're available.
And they still meet at the Max?
They don't meet
grocery
at Max, they meet at the church across the street from Max,
What time would that be, sir?
6:30.
Okay, that's it. We have a hold for our teacher showcase, but I think that'll be early in the day. As long as it's not the closing ceremony at 6, I usually make presentation to the teachers. I can be there. We'll confirm those times.
Okay,
Yes, sir. All right.
store?
thank you.
And Mr. Superintendent, I just had two questions, and you can answer them later. Where we at with Senate Bill 4?
Senate Bill 4 has not moved from in the House. It passed the Senate, but it has not moved in the House yet. And that's the bill, for those that may not remember, that eliminates the need for training for school board members beyond the new school board members. And that's not supported by the Georgia School Board Association.
Yeah. And the other one, when we were talking about House Bill 340, I know that would be local decision on what we do with the phones while they're there. Has that conversation, would that go back to the committee before it comes back up?
Yeah, well, that'll be a procedural issue, and right now there's going to be there's a cell phone. Well, what's assigned by the governor? There'll be no cell phones allowed K through 8, and if a student brings a phone, the question is what do we do with it? That's not in state law. There's no funding to provide for anything to do. I know some school systems have bought yonder pouches, pouches that are magnetic. You put the phone in, keeps the phone secure. You need another magnetic device to release the magnet. Speaking of some superintendents, you know, when people build you build a better mousetrap, you catch more mice, but then the mice get smarter, and so now there's a device that you can buy on Amazon that can demagnetize the yonder pouch. So a student can get there and use that and get not only their phone, but any other phone that's in the pouch. That we will look at the best way to approach how we handle students who bring phones, and we will have to collect those and keep them safe until time for dismissal. So we have been discussing those because in anticipation of this passing, but we don't have that just yet. And I think this is effective for the 26th
So
school
it'll be
year.
a district policy, not school per school. So when people call,
Right.
we'll have one district
Yes, ma'am.
policy. Okay. Just one. Any other questions, Superintendent, before we go? Ask for a motion to go in executive session.
Madam Chair,
Hold on just a second, so Ms. Hudley.
I'd just like for the body to know that one of our former coaches, late coaches, was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and with the superintendent and I attended the affair, and I'd like to share this with the board, anyone else who'd like to have a look at it.
Is there any way possible we can get copies?
Yes, ma'am. We can make copies. I think Ms. Hutley got a few of them, but we can certainly make. Did I say something I wasn't supposed to say, Ms. Hutley? I'm sorry.
You weren't supposed to tell all.
Because mine went missing from the table there. And
I did not get yours.
I'm being silly.
Mine
But yeah,
came
we can say that we.
He has his two,
But she's referred to Coach Willie Boston, the great Willie Boston, 6-time state championship winning coach, 4 times consecutively. He was honored by the Georgia Basketball Coaches Association as an inductee in their second class of Hall of Fame members. And he had a great showing. Of course, Ms. Hutley and I were there. We took a brief recess from the COSPA conference and went to help celebrate his memory with his daughters. Both of his daughters were there. I had several of his former players there as well. And so it was a great event and a well-deserved honor for Coach Boston and all of the inductees. Thank you, Ms. Elliott, for that.
Certainly appreciate y'all taking the time out to celebrate one of our own local legends. Okay, Mr.
I thought it was a good show put on past Saturday. I was there for a while.
standing for a relay.
I've known this gentleman and his family, we are my fraternity brothers, and I thank you and the staff at the Recreation for some real good attendance, and I suspect that there wasn't any crime during this time.
And what he's referring to, we had our legendary Dougherty High School Trojan, Stanley Floyd, here for a week. He had 7 events, and the end was with his Stanley Floyd first annual, because it will be an ongoing, Stanley Floyd track and field. We had elementary schools, K through 5, 5 from all over Southwest Georgia, private and public, and homeschoolers. And they will be, the winners will be compete this weekend, next weekend in Thomasville, Georgia. We have 92 athletes that will be taking the Thomasville for district, and those students still will have the award to go to state to represent. In the past, Mary Acres have been our group that's gone, but we open it up to everybody. So again, thank you, Superintendent and your cabinet and Ms. Lewis Cobb for helping getting that together. So looking forward to next year. Any other information need to come before we go to executive session? Want to make sure our hearts and minds. So may I have a motion to go in executive session for personnel, student matter, and property?
Madam Chair, I move that we go into executive session for personnel matter and student affairs.
Second.
And property. We add property to that too.
Property.
Second by Ms. Fennessy. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are not in executive session. Please take all your belongings, and we'll be out once it's over. It's coming in. I just want to make sure. Okay, do we have any other business that need to be addressed by the Dougherty County School Board? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting is adjourned.